Hey ladies and metal fish, this is the king of draw style, Daddy Janjo in the black hoodie. Is this dark Janjo? Hoo-ha! That was tougher than I thought it was going to be. Now I look silly. I look like I'm in a cocoon. I'm gonna take this off now. Anyway, so I made this video talking about this brand new Yabba Dabba Doo Speed Duels GX Midterm Destruction has recently been announced, set for next year at the end of March. Let's just say April. It's gonna be a relatively cheap set, similar to other GX boxes. Now I'm a little surprised. That they're going back to the GX after they tried GX for a while. It didn't really work out. And then they went back to DM with the Streets of Battle City set. I don't know what I was expecting, but hey, more GX. I like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. That was a good time for the game, as I've done arguably too in-depth in my history series. But this is cool. We get a lot more stuff that we didn't get before. So we can get like Neo-Spacians. That's like a big thing they're advertising. Also, we get Tyranno Hassleberry. And now, if you know me, I like dinosaurs. In fact, I have a dinosaur-themed video coming up this Sunday, currently available on Patreon. And then we're getting a bunch of other stuff. We're getting Jaden, Sartorius, Tyranno, and Jim. I don't know if this means that these are the only decks. Possibly Sartorius. Basically means that we're going to be getting the Arcana cards, like the Arcana Force stuff. So, you know, the world, that shit. We're going to get that. That's going to be pretty slick. They're also getting additional cards and skills for Zane, Aster, and more. I don't know exactly what that means, but we could get some cool stuff, possibly like Future Fusion or Destiny Hero Malicious. Maybe we'll actually get a revival of the Diamond Dude Turbo deck. That'd be pretty baller. Next, we're going to get some Dr. Crowler Secret Weapon Blowski with Moki Moki King. So I'm probably going to expect a Blowski skill involving something with like a Moki Moki deck. That's pretty exciting. Like a Moki Moki beatdown. I am super hype for that. And with 12 skills, that is a lot that we're potentially getting with over 90 new cards. Like, that is a big thing. Like, people were wondering what was happening with Speed Duels. We haven't really heard anything in a while, and this is what we're going to be getting, is a lot of stuff. We just have to wait a few more months post-holiday season. Plus more secret rares, and if you know me, you know that I love GX secret rares. They are printed locally, they are super clean, I love them. I still need to finish collecting some of them. But we're getting some cool stuff like Aqua Dolphin. You know, people play that with was it Neos Connector? Dandelion, that'd be a big one if you play Edison. And Card Trooper, if you like Perfect Circle like me, that will be a big one too. So we're getting a lot of Speed Duels. Like, this might now be the time for me to, or anyone watching this, to just go pick up all the Speed Duels sets and have like a big Speed Duels party. That sounds dope as fuck. Now, I like Speed Duels. I've been getting back more to recently, but I will admit that this format has been a very degenerate, toxic tier 0 format with the Streets of Battle City because of my precious queen. So hopefully this creates some new things. I would assume we're going to get a new list when this drops. I would hope so, or at least an errata of my precious queen, because there is no reason for that card to be as busted as such. So we're gonna get 100 common cards, 12 skill cards. We're gonna get 4 of 20 secret rares. Now, what those are, I can only imagine. I assume we're going to get like some of the main stuff, like Moki Moki King, like Elemental Hero Neos, you know, the other cards that they mentioned, like Ultimate Tyranno, Fossil Skull Gios, probably Arcana Force the World, something like that. You know, we could get some cool secret rares like Phoenix Enforcer or whatever Cyber Dragons they decide to introduce. We already have Cyber End Dragon. Do we have Cyber Twin Dragon? I'm not entirely sure, but that could be a possibility too, if not. Then we're also getting 1 2-player Jaden Sartorius Deluxe game mats. I'm not a fan of the paper mats. I kind of wish they gave us something a little nicer. It is what it is. It is in a small box. I can't complain. Now, a big thing that Speed Duels has done for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is a lot of reprints that we don't normally get in the core sets or some of the other side supplemental sets. So there are 3 that I want to talk about, and the main one here is going to be, bam, Elemental Hero Air Neos. Air Neos is quite the controversial card for not receiving any reprints since Striking Neos, and it is a well over $100 card. if you're looking to pick up. And it's not even a good card. It sucks. It sucks donkey. It's terrible. But it'll be fun to have in decks. Like, it's so thematic for it. I don't know why it has been reprinted. Konami hasn't said anything. There's been speculations whether it was like a lawsuit for the art or an aircraft, or like nothing really makes sense, because if it's like an art thing, they can just do an alternate art, or if it's like an Italian thing, like no one's gonna confuse us with a plane. Like nothing quite makes sense, and no one knows for sure. It could be just something Konami is fucking with everyone on. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I sincerely hope that it does get a reprint in this set. Like, just give us a common, like, just something would be nice. I mean, God forbid you get, like, a first set ultimate rare or something. Like, that's insane. You know, if we're getting all these Neos cards, Neospatian stuff, there's no reason why we shouldn't get Air Neos, unless, like, there actually is some deep political shit going on. Now, another card I want to look at is Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis isn't as bad as Air Neos, but it has been a while since it received a reprint. It has the Pharaonic Guardian, Dark Revelation, and then Champion Pack 1, which is the highest rarity and super rare, which is very expensive. You're going to look to drop a pretty penny for that. Like, commons aren't like too terribly much. You could probably get it for $8 to $15, but it still needs a reprint nonetheless. It's still a card that could be legal in speed duels. It wouldn't break the game, per se. I wouldn't think so. It's not like Scapegoat's running around, and the extra deck's already very powerful just because of Waking the Dragon. So with Metamorphosis, I think a good chance for this to be reprinted is because Jaden, the character Jaden from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, uses Elemental Hero, or Neo Bubbleman, I believe the name is. To summon that, you need Metamorphosis. So if they introduce that card to the game, they have to include Metamorphosis. So I think that's a better reason than any. And we don't know if this is going to break the game or anything like that. It could possibly well do that, but I mean, we already have My Precious Queen. What's the worst that could happen? You know, use this to summon a Thousand Eyes Restrict, and then, although I'm pretty sure with My Precious Queen, you have to tribute for an insect, so I don't think that would work. But nevertheless, I think this would be a great card to add to speed duels, if not just for the reprint. Now, the final card I like to talk about on here is Pulling the Rug. This is another GX original. It's from Strike of Neos originally. I was considering putting Dimension Fusion on this, because that also needs a reprint, and that wouldn't be that absurd in speed duels, because it does cost half your life points. It's a straight 2,000 cost. So I could see that card getting reprinted in speed duels, and I would love that. But let's stick with GX stuff for the sake of this exercise here. Now, Pulling the Rug is popular in Edison format primarily. When a monster effect is activated, it activates when the monster's normal summon, can make activation destroy the monster. It's just like a solid card to use, a solid trap. It's not too terribly expensive. Like, you pick one up for like $4, but it still needs a reprint. It's another thing that hasn't been reprinted since like OTS Tournament Pack 23. Which, yeah, it was like earlier this year, but it's still one of those cards that is popular in older formats, and thus it still retains value. And I think we've seen that with a lot of speed duel cards already, such as like Dimensional Alchemist. Like cards that still haven't received a ton of reprints, and even when they do, they still kind of retain some inherent value, and I think the more reprints, the better. And with Pulling the Rug, I think that's a good way to just give us a common. I think that would drastically drag down the price, especially how speed duel cards are, and kind of the stigma some people have with speed duel cards. I don't have that personally, but I know some people do. But nevertheless, I think Pulling the Rug would be a great addition to include in the game. And I think if we get any good reprints, like, I'd be excited for cards that haven't been around in a long time, especially if we're getting something that we're including 100 common cards, 20 secret rare cards, and over 90 new cards to speed duel. So that's a lot of cards to add. Again, there will be a lot of filler, but we did get a lot of good stuff in the Streets of Battle City, like Warrior of Atlantis. So I'm not going to say it will be, I'm not going to say it won't be. I think there's a possibility we could get all three of these cards. I certainly hope so, but time will tell. So let me know what reprints you're looking for in this Midterm Destruction box. Let me know if you're planning on getting the Midterm Destruction box and what you want to see from the future of speed duels. Also, make sure to check out my Patreon if you want to see videos early and exclusive posts and all that fun jazz. So until I see you all next time, have a wonderful day.